Hello everyone. This is a 120 Q&A test. Plaintiff attorney is Mr. Sanchez, S-A-N-C-H-E-Z. Defense attorney is Mr. Meyer, M-Y-E-R. Again, plaintiff attorney Mr. Sanchez, S-A-N-C-H-E-Z. And defense is Mr. Meyer, M-Y-E-R. This is going to start off with plaintiff attorney. Ready? And where were you positioned at that point? Where were you stationed? I was positioned at the WHP North River office where I currently am stationed. And you were patrolling? Yes. And upon some accidents, you would be called upon to perform some accident investigation? Yes, that happened all the time. And prior to the happening of this accident of 9/10/10, had you ever been involved as the primary investigating officer, writing the report and reporting a fatal accident? No. This was your first one? Yes. And prior to the happening of this accident, had you ever been involved in any respect in the investigation of a fatal or fatality accident? No. Prior to the happening of this accident, had you ever been involved in investigating any kind of an injury accident? Yes. And approximately how many injury accidents had you been involved in investigating before the accident? Approximately 15 injury collisions. And before the happening of this accident, had you been involved in investigating any property damage? Only accidents? Yes. And approximately how many had you been involved in before this accident? Approximately 75. Did you utilize any materials while you were at the academy? How can you explain that? Yeah, probably a bad question. Thanks for letting him know you didn't get it. While you were at the academy, did the instructors utilize any kind of PowerPoint, any kind of written materials, anything like at that? Yes. To train you? Yes. Would it be both PowerPoint and written materials? Correct. And with regard to the investigation of fatal accidents, did they use PowerPoint and written materials? Yes. Do you still have any of those written materials by chance? I don't. Okay, if I wanted to get copies of those to see what it is that the WHP trained with regard to investigation of fatal accidents, who would I go see or check with? I believe you'd call our office area in Finland Hills. Okay, and have you seen that they have copies of the materials that you used? I'm not sure of how the copies are distributed to the public. Okay, with regard to the investigation of the fatal accidents, tell me what it was that the WHP trained you to do as far as that investigation, those types of investigations. They trained me to go to the scene, document the collision, document the location of the evidence, speak with the witnesses, obtain their statements, document injuries to all parties, document damage to vehicles. Okay? Follow up with a significant other to find out a driver profile, which would be to help determine the state of mind of the driver prior to the collision and document all on-scene emergency personnel as well as employees. Okay. So you came out of the academy, and I know you were stationed at the North River Station here in Finland Hills, correct? Yes. And do you go right away on patrol? You conduct it's approximately 3 months of field training with a field training officer. And that would bring us up to about January of 2009 or so. Yes. Okay. And did you have the 3 months of training? Yes. And who were your field training officers? My first field training officer was Officer Justin Stewart. My second field training officer was Officer Heidi Camden, last name Camden. My third field training officer was Officer Raymond Taft, last name Taft. All right, so we do have a word list. We've got WHP, that stands for Washington Highway Patrol. So that's no periods, but all caps. So capital W, capital H, capital P, no periods. North River Station, capital North, River, capital River. Station, capital S on station, Station. Finland Hills, capital Finland. Hills, capital Hills. PowerPoint is one word. Capital P, lowercase OWER, capital P, lowercase OINT, and that is one word. Officer Justin Stewart, capital O on officer. Justin, capital JUSTIN. Stewart, capital STEWART. Officer Heidi Camden. Now Camden is spelled in the transcript, so you're going to capitalize O on officer. Heidi, capital HEIDI. Officer Raymond Taft. Now Taft is also spelled in the transcript. Make sure you capitalize O on officer. Raymond, capital RAYMOND. And that concludes our 120 Q&A test. Good luck.